tell you about, you know, your address and where you work and your phone number. Then we've got the consumer statement is in section 2. Then we've got the summary. Now the summary tells the person that's looking at your credit report how many good accounts you have, how many bad accounts you have, how much debt you're in, how much you're paying a month on your bills. That's the summary section of your file, okay? Then we have account history. The account history actually tells you how you pay well on a certain account. So if you're paying good, and you never miss a payment, that is going to be where your history is at. If you miss a payment, then that's where it's going to be shown on that account that you've actually been late. And that's where we're going to talk about the credit grade later on, how that one late payment will affect your grade. And it's like we're experiencing right now the unemployment crisis. Most people just can't because there's no jobs. So, you know, all those people who had those good credit scores and good grades are defaulting on accounts, and their scores have plummeted. And the last time I checked the statistics, 25% of the total population here in the United States have a credit score of under 540. 25% of the total population. That's a lot of people. And I don't, like I said, it's something that they didn't really plan to not have a job. This is the score you want. You want to make sure you're always over a 700. Okay? Always over a 700. That's the A grade you want. Okay? Secure cards. The reason why I recommend Fifth Third is because secure cards have an annual fee on them. Okay? Some of the annual fees can be from $20 to $189. Fifth Third's annual fee for you having that card is only $24 a year. Okay? So you only use secure cards to get you started. You don't want to be paying $24 a year for the rest of your life on a secure card. You just want to use that as a way to get a grade. And after a year or two, close it and get your money back. So don't look at all that money that you're saving, trying to get your grade, as something that you're not going to get back because it's your money. Whenever you close the card, you get that money back. Yes?
So basically, you use that card as like a savings account.
You use it like a savings account, but it's grading you. So you got to keep your utilization. And I have this book, my book, Innocent Victims, it actually teaches you, it shows you your safe zones. It tells you what you can spend based on percentages. This is actually on page 81, I believe. They pass that around.
So that's something you can do right away, just to respond to what Ms. Lewis is saying. This is, that's the reason why we're going to talk more about banking. That's the reason why I tell you putting your money into a savings account is a waste of time for you when you have the ability to have a secured card. Like I told you, I'm doing it with my daughter, all right, because of the fact that I don't want her to start off with an F when she leaves home. Okay, so you've got to understand these are just some simple, easy, quick ways you can be able to boost your score, and it helps you out tremendously when you're out there in the real world.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, this is my little make up your mind. Yes.
So if you're depositing money into that account but not spending it, that means your credit score will go up?
Correct. On a secure card. Got it? But remember, you got to watch your ratios on your spending. 30% of 2,000 is what? So you have 2,000. 600. Yeah. So as long as you stay below your percentages, you're good. Yes.
So you could actually have like a debit card and a secure card and put money in a secure card and debit card and then...
Well, debit card is totally separate. Remember, you got debit card, which is your regular savings. What a secure card is basically a savings account. That's a collateral. So you put your money into a savings account, and you don't touch that money that's in the savings account. They use that money that you have in the savings account, and then they put it on a card. So you're using a secure card instead of using the savings account. Does that make sense? Yeah. But right now, that 8. You start working on that 8. Okay. 17 now, guess what? Get a savings account, start saving money. So when you get 18, you can go and get your first secure card. So I don't think you can get one until you're 18. When you get a savings account, be saving. So when you turn 18, go get your first secure card. Guess what? Now you went from an F to an A. Simple? Easy? Okay, so you got your first account, now you go to college, and now you go get that student loan. How many accounts you got now?
2.
Okay, yeah, so you got 2 now. All right, remember I said,
No more than 3.
okay, yeah, no more than 3. You only have one, you want to have one account in the revolving section, which is maybe one credit card. You want to have one account, student loan, or a car. And then you want to have a mortgage. You know, that third account is for your mortgage. So guess what? None of you will get approved. None of you will get denied for a house if you only got 2 accounts. You got a credit card and a student loan, and they got 8. You getting graded. You know, your score's good. You're gonna be safe. You're gonna be ready. Before you can't get approved. You got all this stuff that you didn't even plan for, didn't know about a credit score or grade, and now you got to fix it. But if you set yourselves up for success and stay under 2 accounts, when you get ready to go buy your house and own, which, you know, a home is an asset. I'm sure your teacher talked about assets and liabilities. You want to avoid liability because liabilities are, you know, you're not gaining anything off of liability. Okay, and so, for example, if you got that student loan and now you need a car, guess what? Your student loan is only $2,000 and you got to get that third account. You should be working towards paying off that student loan because now you've got a car in that section. So try to keep up with not letting your debt grow. You want to keep your debt down. You want to keep it down. You want it to be going down. If you owe $20,000 in January, guess how much you should owe by the time December gets here? How much?
0.
Well, not really 0, but you want that number to be going down. You want, if you start at $20,000 in debt, say you just bought a brand new car at $20,000, guess what? And you're paying $500 a month on that car. What's 500 times 6? 3,000, right? And another 6,000, that's 12,000 should be subtracted off that car that year. That's if you got a good credit score and you got a 0% interest. But it's not going to be like that if you got a bad credit score and you got a bad interest rate. It's because of course, traps that I had actually had, but also because I didn't know, I had never heard of a credit score or a credit grade. Okay? When you graduate from college and graduate from high school, you already have an F grade. You have an F right now. So what I want this lecture or this time that I have with you to do is get you prepared to get an A credit score or grade. Right? You're going to be graded on a score and a grade. So I'm going to be talking about the understanding your credit file in the 12 sections of your credit file and how you're graded. And I'll pass this book around, but this book actually is going to tell you the 12 sections of your file. All right? And if you have a school syllabus, it's equated to a school syllabus. Okay? So the example I used earlier was that if you have a school syllabus and you have 50% of your homework grade being graded the most, 25% being midterm, and 25% being final, what area are you going to focus on the most? What's going to give you the most points? Homework, right? Your credit report is the same way. Okay? Your grade is going to be divided into 12 sections. And each one of these sections are worth a percentage, 35%, 10%, 15%. So you want to make sure you get the full maximum amount of points in the sections of your credit file. Okay? Right now, you have a F because you have not yet begun to actually have any accounts on your credit file. So right now, you have an F. And so you want to actually have an A at all times. From the time you turn 18 until you, wherever, A grade. That's what we want. Okay? The first section of your credit file is going to be your personal information section. The only thing about this section is you want to make sure that that stuff is right. Because a lot of times people's names and their dad's names get cross-mixed into your credit reports, and the information on these credit reports could be not right, not accurate. Someone else's accounts can be on your account because of an error or a name glitch. So the personal information section is very important for you to make sure that that information is you and not anybody else. Those addresses are you. So that's very, very, very important. Number 2 is going to be the consumer statement, all right? The consumer statement is something that is on your credit file when you've actually been a victim of identity theft, or if you've had a bad experience, like you had a hospital bad experience and you have this big medical bill on your file and you want to let everybody know that you had a, whatever medical condition you had. That section is where you want to write anything that you want to tell the vendor. All right? Summary section is going to be summarizing all of your grade, all of your score. Okay, so it's similar to your final grade when you graduate from, not graduate, but when you complete a 9th grade or 10th grade year, you've got that final grade. That's the summary part. It's going to tell you everything in that summary on how to get your grade, right? The other section that grades you is your real estate accounts. Now, I want to tell you that if you have no home or not, you're not going to get any points in this section. All right, so a lot of people don't understand that. For example, you've got 100% that you can get total for your grade. If you don't have a home, you're already missing 5% of the grade. So the highest grade that you can get on your credit score is a 95. You understand what I'm saying? Because you don't have a home. So that real estate section is very important because you're already setting yourself up to get your grade, but you're not being able to access your full 100% because you're already at 95 is the highest you can get. Does everybody understand that? Because you don't have a house. Okay? You have a credit card that's $1,000 and you spend over $300, which is 30% of that amount. Guess what's going to happen to your score? It's going to go down. And each one of your accounts are graded based on what you spend and how you take care of it. Okay? So that's the account history. If you miss a payment, it's going to grade you on that, and you're going to get points subtracted. Okay? 7 is the installment account. 7 is this is the area where your student loans, if you go to college and you're going to get student loans, this is the section of your file where your student loan is going to be. If you buy a car, this is the section where your car is going to be. Okay? You only want to have no more than one account at one time. Okay? You want to have your house, which is what you'll get later if you go to college. That's later. You got the one credit card, and you either got the one car or the one installment. Okay? Don't go over 3 accounts in the whole credit report. That's the secret to keeping a good credit score. Keep under 3 accounts. Currently, right now, the average person or average household has 9 or more accounts on their credit report. Right? So you are at an advantage because now you can know going into, when I get my credit report, I can't go over 3 accounts, the balance of that account. All right? So if you start out at 18 and you have this credit card all the way till you're 30 and you never miss a payment, guess what your grade is going to be on that account? An A. Okay? So you want to make sure that when you start that history of taking care of your credit in your first account, that you take care of it and keep an A on that account. Okay, in the age. Now another thing you want to make sure of that when you turn 18, that your first account, your first couple accounts stay on your credit file forever. What I'm finding out is that your first accounts are being deleted. So say for example, when I got my first account, it was in 1992, 1993. None of my accounts are there. None of my first couple of accounts that I got are there because they were purged and they were deleted. So what happens is when your good grades get good accounts get deleted, what does that do to your score? It's kind of biased, right? That's almost like your teacher telling you, I'm not going to count homework. You got all hundreds on your homework, and guess what? He's not counting. But you need that homework to be configured in there. Same thing with your accounts. You want to make sure that you track all of your accounts from the time you get them and make sure they stay on your credit report.